Good evening, everyone. Doing this book review after reading the book on The Killer Angels is what it's called. It was by author Michael Sharar. I think that's how you say it. I've heard two different ways where you can say it, but I think it's Michael Sharar or Shara. And it is a historical novel on the Battle of Gettysburg. Now, for this book, Mr. Sharar won a Pulitzer Prize in 1975. Basically, it differs a little bit from many other historical novels that I've read. The way most writers usually use fictional characters and place them within historical events. Mr. Sharar uses historical figures in a certain historical event, which is, I found, very interesting. But this book overall was very interesting to me. It's very fun to read, and it was an easy read as well. Basically, the book talks about all the generals. So General Robert E. Lee, General James Longstreet were with the Confederate Army, and then Colonel Joshua Chamberlain and General John Buford were from the Union Army. And basically it goes through the way they have to different battles in the book, basically getting through Gettysburg, right? It was one of the largest battles of the Civil War. So one of the things that I would want to do as a primary source activity is something that I've kind of created and kind of used before, and it has worked really well for me. Basically, the couple of the primary sources that I've used is a letter from President Lincoln to General George G. Meade, a letter from Robert E. Lee to his wife, and the Gettysburg Address that was given. So basically, some of the directions that I would do, so the students will read and understand the primary source writings by Union and Confederate leaders, as well as President Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. Now, I always provide and will provide the students with an excerpt from these writings and also a graphic organizer trying to keep them organized and understand what we're trying to do for the assignment. And basically that helps them guide themselves through the reading. They'll be able to analyze and interpret different thought processes as they read through this. So the way that I would do this would be give the students copies of the excerpts that I want them to read, but I would also read them aloud with the students. So I would actually read them so they can follow along, and then also let them read aloud as well. I think that helps when you read out loud to them. So especially the students, the ELF students, the students that struggle with reading certain types of language, it will help them keep up with a certain pace and a certain style that you're wanting to do. I also will give them the copies of the graphic organizer for Lincoln's letter to Meade. In this, they will have the excerpt of the paragraph at the top, and I have all this online. They can find it, and I have found it online myself. And it seems like one of the easiest ways for them to stay on task instead of asking them to do this all on their own. It asks them, they would read the paragraph, look at certain, identify keywords and Lincoln's thoughts throughout about the Civil War and this battle itself. And basically, I would allow the class to have discussions of the words that they picked and reflect on their certain views. This allows them to talk with each other. It also allows them to read and to write and think about what they are reading. So it hits all of the aspects that we're looking for as a teacher. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I actually guess I didn't understand the assignment. I wrote a full summary of it. I didn't know we just had to do a video, but either way, that helped me figure out exactly what it was about anyways. Hopefully you all have a good night. Thank you very much.